This is the story of a person who faces racial discrimination, but fights against all the difficulties, succeeds, and becomes successful. The story delves into the past, taking us to Texas in 1939, a time when black people faced significant discrimination and oppression. A young boy named Bernard, wearing a tattered hat, shines shoes. He sets up his stand in front of the bank, where all the customers are wealthy white men. He works slowly so he can listen to some of the financial knowledge these people talk about while they wait. He quickly writes down in a notebook all the valuable financial information he hears, with the goal of becoming a banker one day. After 15 years, Bernard becomes a grown man and moves to Los Angeles with his wife Eunice and their children. Here, racial discrimination isn't as obvious as it was in his hometown, so he decides to start his own business. His family lives in a rundown room owned by one of his relatives. After some time, Bernard starts working as a real estate agent, looking for houses for sale all over the city. Thanks to his keen observations and strong business mindset, he sees an opportunity. Because the black community in Los Angeles is very crowded, while the white community still has many vacant homes, he realizes that black people have the financial ability and the need for apartments and houses for rent, but the market does not meet their needs. Bernard sees an apartment owned by a white person, with its door overgrown with weeds, and it's clear that it's not in good condition. However, Bernard sees the advantage of its location, which is next to the black neighborhood. He contacts the owner and says, "Why don't you sell me this property? I'll give you $30,000 now, and an additional $5,000 when I rent out all the units." The owner likes his idea, but he refuses to deal because of the risks. However, Bernard notices a calendar from the local bank on the owner's desk. After that, he goes straight to the bank and talks to the bank manager, but the manager's secretary, who discriminates against black people, refuses to help him. Bernard waits outside the bank for hours to meet the manager, but the manager rejects his loan application. Later, the owner calls him and asks, "Did you use my name to get a loan?" Bernard apologizes, but surprisingly, the owner doesn't blame him. Instead, he admires his self-belief and determination to achieve his goal. The owner helps him get his first loan ever to buy the property. Bernard starts working on the property, but an old white woman sees a black man working there and shows her displeasure. She calls the police, claiming that Bernard is pretending to own the property, but Bernard is prepared with ownership documents, which forces the police to investigate. Over time, Bernard rents the apartments to black families. As he expected, the market is large. Bernard acquires more properties and starts a partnership with the former white owner, and together they achieve great success. He moves with his family into a luxurious mansion and lives a comfortable life. However, after his partner's death, his racist widow starts trying to get rid of him by offering to buy his shares at a low price and threatens to sue him. If he refuses, he needs to take a bold step. He decides to buy the bank building itself that refused to give him loans. He teams up with another black real estate developer named Joe, and they work together to achieve this bold idea. They train a white man named Matt to be their front for dealing with white people. Thanks to careful preparation, Matt succeeds in buying the building on behalf of Bernard and Joe. After purchasing the building, Bernard and Joe become real estate pioneers, breaking the racial barriers between black and white neighborhoods in Los Angeles. But the challenges continue when a white banker named Florence Jr. tries to destroy their success by manipulating loans. In the end, Bernard and Joe face major losses and are imprisoned because of the charges against them. After their release, they discover that they still own properties in the Bahamas, where they had previously planned to keep some of their assets safe from confiscation. The story ends with the revelation that their properties were essential in fighting housing discrimination in Los Angeles. Bernard and Joe continued to support the black community even after losing their main assets, as their remaining properties in the Bahamas became a new source of hope for them and their families. The film shows Bernard's determination as he stands up to racism and discrimination, using his intelligence and creativity to achieve social justice and improve his community's living conditions. After years of struggle, Bernard becomes a symbol of strength and determination, showing that no matter how difficult the challenges are, they can be overcome with willpower and perseverance. The story powerfully stresses confronting injustice and overcoming difficulties, showing that change starts with small, impactful steps. In the end, the story reflects individuals' ability to achieve success despite discrimination and how stories of struggle can be a source of inspiration for future generations.